This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to the late night news on NDTV Hindu with me Ramanathan. Let's take a look at the top stories tonight. The PMK talk staff says the party is in no hurry to forge an alliance with the next year's elections. Supreme Court called Jallikattu an industry and asked the state government to restrict the event to 60 days instead of 5 months. Chidambaram reacts to Karunanidhi's letter on Tamil fishermen killed on Wednesday, says the matter will be taken up with the Lankan government. It's the new passport to a government job in Tamil Nadu, schooling in Tamil medium. Here's the first recipient. It's a clash over land, a 200-year-old cattle market to be shunted out of Pallavaram. The move sparks protests. After being in police custody, this Kodaikanal school correspondent is back behind bars on charges of child molestation. Captain Cool Dhoni packs his bags for the island nation, not for his honeymoon, but to try and tie the Lankan team up in knots for tests and tri-nation ODIs. Braving death threats, Paul the Octopus makes his big prediction: Spain will lift the World Cup. Well, those were all our top stories, but here are the stories making the headlines across India. A couple in Kanpur blamed the Prime Minister's security for losing the 8-year-old child. He bled to death before they could get him to hospital. Ally problems for the Congress. Sharad Pawar's NCP revolt says it will go solo if Congress does not give it enough space. Nityananda gets it easy. The court allows him to preach and relaxes his bail conditions. After 2 rough years, aviation sector now on recovery mode. Good news for job seekers. The airlines are on a hiring spree. Well, the day after Chief Minister Karunanidhi wrote to the centre seeking action on the issue of Tamil fishermen alleged to have been killed by the Lankan Navy on Wednesday, Home Minister P. Chidambaram today reacted. In a letter addressed to Karunanidhi, the Home Minister said that the matter has been discussed with the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and National Security Advisor Shiv Shankar Menon. He has also said that the Ministry of External Affairs will take up the matter with the Sri Lankan government soon. Well, our political reporter Shabir Ahmed now joins us on the phone line for more on that. Shabir, what more details can you give us on this at this point in time?
Well, Ram, this reaction by the central government is wake of this case. The DF has planned.
Well, there seems to be a technical problem with the connection there with Shabir Ahmed. We will, of course, get back to him once that line is patched. Moving on to other top story. After flip-flopping over a possible alliance with the ruling DMK in the upcoming 2011 elections, the PMK today reiterated its stand to remain in no man's land. As the party braces itself for the assembly elections next year, PMK founder Ramdas said that they are keeping their options open for any alliance. He said that they are in no hurry to jump into an alliance and they are banking on the new office bearers to spearhead the campaign for the polls. They are determined not to repeat the poor show in the recent elections. Many leaders, including Dr. Anbumni Ramdas, were re-elected to the party post today.
மீண்டும் ஊடகங்களுக்கு சொல்கிறேன், நீங்கள் தொடர்ந்து எங்களை கொச்சப்படுத்துகிறீர்கள். எந்த பந்தியிலே இவர்கள் உட்கார போகிறார்கள், எந்த பந்தியிலே இவர்கள் உட்கார போகிறார்கள், பந்தி நிரம்பிவிட்டால் இவர்கள் என்ன செய்ய போகிறார்கள் என்றெல்லாம் நீங்கள் எங்களை கேவலப்படுத்துகிறீர்கள். நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லுகின்றேன், நாங்கள் பந்திக்காக அலைகிறவர்கள் அல்ல. நீங்களும் மற்றவர்களுக்கு பந்தி போடுகின்ற, பந்தி உபசரிக்கின்ற காலம் வரும். அதுவரை பொறுமையாக காத்திருங்கள், உழையுங்கள் என் பிள்ளைகளே என்று எதிர்வீட்டுக்காரன் சொல்லுவான். அதனாலே அந்த காலம் வரும், அந்த நேரம் வரும், நாமும் பந்தி போடுவோம்.
We are gearing for the assembly elections. We are also doing the same. But irrespective of the assembly elections, now we are going ahead and strengthening the party at the grassroots level, and we are enlisting hundreds of thousands of young people. And we have now yet to plan. For the next 1 month is going to be a planning phase. we're going to go all out. Our party boss will decide, and there's still time for that.
Well, the police today foiled a candlelight vigil planned by a group of disabled people in front of the Kapalishwar temple in Mylapore, protesting the recent conferment of the ISO certification for the Kapalishwar temple in spite of the temple not being accessible enough for the disabled. The police have detained them at the E1 Mylapore police station. The activists say that in the recent budget announcement, the Chief Minister promised to make public places disabled friendly, but the decision is yet to be implemented. Moving on, cattle owners in Chennai are a worried lot. They have lost the age-old cattle market in Pallavaram. The Cantonment Board, erstwhile owners of the 4.5-acre piece of land, have transferred it to the Indira Gandhi Centre for Atomic Research, who intend to establish a facility there. The alternate site provided to them is not to their liking. The protesting traders told a reporter Pratiksha that they will not be herded off easily.
எங்களுக்கு நாங்க சின்ன எங்க அப்பா எங்க தாத்தா எல்லாம் இந்த வியாபாரம் பழைய துணி தான் எங்களுக்கு வியாபாரம் எங்க பசங்களும் இந்த வியாபாரம் தான் சின்ன குழந்தையில இருந்து இந்த இடத்துல தான் நாங்க துணி இந்த பழைய துணி வியாபாரம் பண்றது எங்களுக்கு இத விட்டா எங்களுக்கு வேற வழி இல்ல எல்லாருக்குமே பழக்கம் இது எல்லா ஒரு இப்ப 100 வயசு கேழி கிட்ட சொன்னா விட பலாரம் சந்தனா இது இந்த கிரவுண்ட் கரெக்ட்டா காட்டுவாங்க
Tulkana Mall situation reflects the anguish felt by every trader in the Pallavaram market, which has been in existence for several years. Soon, the entire market will have to shift to another location a couple of kilometers away. And the traders are not really happy with this trade-off. They fear that they would lose their livelihood.
ரொம்ப அடிஞ்சல் வர நாலு ஜனங்க வருவாங்க போங்க வருவாங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கு போறாங்க வேலைக்கு போறாங்க எல்லாம் வாங்குவாங்க ஆனா அங்க பாதுகாப்பு இல்ல ஒண்ணு இல்ல ரொம்ப கஷ்டம்.
Recently, the market ground was handed over to the IGCAR by the Cantonment Board, and the traders were served with evacuation notices. The traders now intend to hold a protest at Pallavaram to highlight their plight. I'm standing right now on the Old Trunk Road, and this is the area allocated to the Pallavaram market traders. As you can see, this area is located very far away from the residential areas in Pallavaram, and the police themselves on record have told NDTV Hindu that this area definitely lacks safety and lighting, and that a lot of work needs to be done to make this place habitable for the traders. In Chennai, Pratiksha Ramkumar for NDTV Hindu.
Jallikattu is no longer a tradition. It has fallen prey to commercialization. That's what the Supreme Court bench observed today. The country's apex court has asked the Tamil Nadu government to even restrict the festival to just 60 days instead of the present period of 5 months. The Tamil Nadu government, finding it hard to fend off increasing criticism, has sought a month's time to reply and act.
All too familiar scenes during the first 5 months of the year in southern Tamil Nadu. Broken human ribs or even a few corpses in a cloud of dust kicked up by rampaging bulls during the annual Pongal ritual of Jallikattu. Now the Supreme Court has asked Tamil Nadu to tone down such celebrations by changing its laws.
The very fact that as a result of the enactment of the law, about over 122 places were notified, but really the festival was held only in 46 places because people could take responsibility only in 46 places. So that shows that the law has actually worked in the year 2009.
And this is what the Supreme Court wants changed. Restrict the event to January and February instead of the present time period of 5 months under the Tamil Nadu Regulation of Jallikattu Act passed in 2009. The Supreme Court has also asked the state to raise the deposit money to be paid by the organizer to 20 lakhs. The limit is currently at 2 lakh rupees under the present law. This because the Supreme Court believes Jallikattu has become a commercial enterprise, a money spinner that is losing its touch with traditional values that has sustained this sport for centuries in Tamil Nadu. But people in Tamil Nadu say it doesn't matter and the tradition will go on like it has always been in the past.
20 லட்சம் ரூபாயும் 2 மாசம் டைம் சொல்லி ஜல்லிக்கட்டு நடத்தணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப மனசுக்கு தகுந்த நீ சாப்பாடு கூட சாப்பிடல அவ்வளவுதான் மனசு வருத்தமா போச்சு காலைல தீர்ப்பு கேட்டோனே.
இது தமிழ்நாடோட வீர விளையாட்டு. இதை கிடமிடி பண்ண வேண்டாம் இந்த விளையாட்டை அழிஞ்சு போயிடும். இந்த மாதிரி அவங்க பணம் கொடுத்தா ஜல்லிக்கட்டு நடத்தணும்னு சொன்னா இந்த விளையாட்டு தமிழ்நாடு விளையாட்டை வீர விளையாட்டை அழிஞ்சு போயிடும்.
But it's not just the commercial aspect. Jallikattu has become a platform for intense political propaganda. A 5-month period allows every political party to consolidate their support base and win over new vote banks. The Supreme Court observation could well sour their plans, but it remains to be seen what the Tamil Nadu government's reply would be 4 weeks from now. With Vaidyanathan in Delhi and Simonish in Chennai, Saptarshi Bhattacharya for NDTV Hindu.
It was a government announcement made with much fanfare and viewed as manna from heaven by students who want to pursue higher studies but don't quite have the means to do it. We're talking about the interest-free educational loans by nationalized banks. But like most good schemes, this too seems mired in red tape, and instructions haven't even percolated down to the banks. Cuckoo Alex profiles a student who has been left in the lurch by a bank bang in the middle of her MBA course.
This 22-year-old MBA student is being taught a harsh lesson in crisis management by her bank. When the central government announced interest-free educational loans for economically weak students, it was music to her ears. She signed up for her course after getting a loan, and as she sought the second installment to continue her course, the bank dropped a bombshell.
When I approached the bank for my second year fees, they told that only if I pay the first year's interest amount, they would sanction the second year loan. And when asked about the interest subsidy, they said they haven't got any orders from the central government as yet. So I was forced to pay my interest amount.
NDTV Hindu contacted various Chennai branches of the State Bank of Mysore to hear a shocking repetition. There's no such loan available. Surprising, since the Human Resource Development Minister Kapil Sibal himself had announced in August 2009 that students with a family income of less than 4.5 lakh rupees were eligible for such loans, repayable within 6 months to 1 year till the student got a job. The media had also reported that the central government's intimation had been sent to all banks by mid-June this year. The actual interest will be paid by the government to the bankers, but this applies only to nationalized banks and banks scheduled under the educational loan scheme of the Indian Banks Association. The loans may be taken only for pursuing professional or technical courses from institutions in India that are recognized by the Indian Banks Association.
Recently, some government incentives have been announced about in the parliament, but nothing really has come to banking channels as such. They will give them the sanction letter. They should be aware. The scheme should be read. Any paper should be read to understand. My bank also devises the policy as per the arbiter. They say that 3% we will give, then we will naturally collect the amount, less amount only from the student. It's not it really resulted in percolated to the real end user.
So is this a case of miscommunication between the centre and the banks? Till that's resolved, such deserving students will have to pay a heavy price. That's a hefty interest on loans, even if the government does not require them to. In Chennai, Cuckoo Alex for NDTV Hindu.
If you want a government job in Tamil Nadu, you better study in Tamil medium schools and colleges. Those who satisfy this will get preference for government jobs. Chief Minister Karunanidhi today implemented this a fortnight after the World Classical Tamil Conference, where he promised the scheme. But not all are happy with it. Sam Daniel reports.
Karunanidhi keeping a promise he made at the World Tamil Conference a fortnight ago. Preference in state government jobs to those who studied in Tamil medium. The first beneficiary is Peter, who has been made an office assistant in the state legal department. Peter is happy, but there's mixed reaction among other job seekers.
That's not fair. The government has to give equal importance to English medium students also.
The person who has studied in English medium will opt for private sector than the government sector.
Yeah, it's good. It is a very good way to promote our language to the next level.
The language is a way of communication. That's only a part of communication. Knowledge is entirely different.
This is seen as a political move by Karunanidhi to woo the rural population ahead of the 2011 assembly polls. First, he had abolished the entrance examination for admission to professional courses and has even introduced engineering education in Tamil. Chief Minister Karunanidhi says he is only catering to popular demand.
ஏற்றுக்கொண்டதை நீங்கள் கண்டீர்கள். பல ஏடுகள், இதர ஆசிரியர்கள், புலவர் பெருமக்கள் தெரிவித்த கருத்தருடைய எதிரொலியாகத்தான்
Karunanidhi may want to leave a legacy behind as the champion of world Tamils, but experts say imposition of Tamil in various ways could actually deny global opportunities to Tamils. In Chennai, Sam Daniel, Find TV.
Well, time to slip into a short break. On the other side, it's revival time for the aviation industry as they get through their rough patch. We tell you more after this short break.